Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode with iTrack. Big shout out to all the iTrack fam for tapping in, man, like you always do. If this is your first time here, what we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy TikToks and kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button and join the iTrack fam. And without any further ado, let's just jump right into it.
While they were filming the Titanic, somebody drugged the entire cast and crew, and they still don't know who it is today. The clam chowder was laced with PCP.
Excuse me?
It said one of the crew members started feeling weird, and then slowly but surely, a bunch of the other crew members started feeling the exact same way. 50 to 80 people went to the hospital, including James Cameron.
Whoa, he was on PCP?
He said, "There's something in me, get it out."
Oh my God.
I mean, could you imagine going to work and by lunchtime you're on another planet? That sounds wild.
Most Americans don't know that there's a place in the US where any crime is legal, and for this reason, this area has literally been given the name the Zone of D. All of this takes place in Yellowstone National Park, where, as you can see, most of the national park land resides solely in the state of Wyoming. However, if you look a bit closer, you can see that it's hiding a pretty big secret. You see, there are small portions of the national park that go beyond Wyoming and barely stretch into the states of both Montana and Idaho. These weird overlapping borders would be considered pretty strange on their own, but what makes them special is this 50 square mile piece of land in Idaho. This is a place where no crime that gets committed could be legally punished. And all this stems from a loophole in how the laws are written. You see, when a crime is committed anywhere in the US, the trial jury legally has to be made up of people belonging both to the state and the district where the crime was committed. However, since not a single person lives in both the state of Idaho and the district of Yellowstone National Park, no jury can be assembled, which means that no trial can legally be held to prosecute a criminal. Luckily though, since this loophole's discovery, nothing bad has happened here. But this begs the question, who will be the first person to try it out?
Somebody that's dumb enough to try it out?
I was this Simpsons writer avoiding questions by these guys interviewing him. They started bringing up how the Simpsons have predicted many things, and the guy instantly started saying, "Oh no, don't believe those, it's a coincidence, etc."
So that's the season where y'all predicted Donald Trump, right?
Don't believe those. It's just coincidence. You mean all those predictions, Donald Trump and aliens were gonna come? Nah, it was just...
At this point, he even started speaking about a whole other topic. Even the guy called him out on this.
Did you see the second Back to the Future movie?
I also saw it was a 9/11.
No, did you see Back to the Future?
Well, it kind of seems like you're switching the topic.
These guys did not hold back. They kept asking about it. But this time, it just seemed that he was avoiding the questions fully. Let me know your thoughts on this.
Predict anything by now.
You've seen it, right? The Twin Towers, the 9 Twin Towers beside it.
So how would you explain it?
Hold on a second.
I'm not sure if that was like a meet and greet situation, but I don't know why you would be trying to avoid a question which I'm sure many people want to know. It's fair to say maybe one or two things are coincidences, but it seemed like they had a reoccurring theme of knowing what was going to happen like years and years ahead of time. We definitely got to have a sit down.
It does have a theology. It's the satanic theology. They wouldn't even know God's theology if it hit them in the head. So basically what they've done, they put the fear of God in people when it comes to demons, which really, as you know, demons should tremble when we walk into the room. We have the power of God in us. So what Hollywood has done is created an illusion, and they've taken taken the solution to this big screen in the way of, you see a demon, you see demonic warfare, you better be scared or they're going to take you out.
These things are not what they seem at first glance. All of you know that pigeons should not be touched because they are carriers of infection and various diseases like flying rats. But are you sure that you know what kind of infection they carry? Have you ever opened a dove to find out what's inside? Not batteries, a radio transmitter, and a high-frequency voice recorder, but just meat like ours? I think none of you check this for sure. It's not without reason that no one checks pigeons at the borders. They don't have a passport, and they can easily fly around the world leaking all the stolen information. But now remember one thing, probably all of you in childhood found wounded pigeons and tried to feed them. So most likely they did not eat anything, because all this time they did not need food, they needed to be charged. By the way, recently declassified data, the CIA confirms dozens of cases of experiments on animals for the purpose of spying on people. Therefore, the next time you see that the same pigeon is regularly located near your house, think that perhaps you are overheating the house of a spy who can easily steal all your passwords, or do something worse.
I got two words to say to you, ladies and gentlemen. Jada Pinkett. They're fleeing the entire galaxy, hiding in caves from Jada Pinkett. You understand? I don't know what to do. I thought it was a great trade when I traded Jada Pinkett, but all we're doing is taking on refugee after refugee after refugee. She might as well work for the World Economic Forum.
This is why they teach you to write with your right hand, because they taught us this to activate the left hemisphere more because of this crossover that happens in the body. So when we are using this right side more, we are using that left hemisphere. They also called it writing. Writing is a spell, to cast a spell on you to use that right side of the body so that you use this left hemisphere, because they want you to see the world as a divided perception. They don't want you using the right hemisphere, using that left side of the body to activate the right hemisphere to see the bigger picture and see how everything is all one and everything is created. This left hemisphere keeps you from seeing the connections between everything, because that left hemisphere analyzes, it breaks things down. So when we are left hemisphere dominated by using the right side of the body, we are essentially seeing everything as divided. And this is why so many people will not understand my work.
Industry was created by the cigarette industry. People don't know this, but in 1990, the three largest processed food companies were cigarette companies: Philip Morris, R.J. Reynolds, and others. Still to this day, Philip Morris owns Kraft. Most of the companies were spun out in the 1990s, but cigarette companies literally took their scientists, as cigarette companies were declining, and put them over to food companies to make the food more addictive. And all those thousands of ingredients that we have in our food are made to addict our children. It's hijacking our biology and our understanding of like what we're eating. You don't binge on natural food because our bodies are made over thousands of years to be with this food. Yeah. But processed food is not natural. It's hijacking our biology.
That has to be all facts, because at one point in time it was nicotine unaliving people, and now it's just Big Macs doing it.
Is the lizards got, okay? And terrible looking faces. But then they have the ability to shift and look like a human. All of them do, okay?
Okay, do you think Von Braun was a reptilian?
No.
You really don't?
No.
Okay.
Your president, yes.
Oh, what? Which one? George Bush Sr.? Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Bill Clinton and this guy you got just got rid of. Yeah.
Yeah.
They all were.
Right.
Okay. So, and they all have this ability to make themselves look like real good-looking people.
And you're saying Trump isn't one?
No, he's not. Okay.
Well, that's a relief.
And and he knows more about this subject than people realize.
Oh,
okay.
Excellent.
They have held the secret knowledge by which the pyramids were constructed based on the math. All of the universe is constructed according to these 9 tones. They knew about them. In fact, they instituted. In fact, it was the Rockefeller Foundation in 1939 that instituted the world's standard tuning to A440 hertz frequency. That when you tune your instrument to that, the F sharp note is 741. Precisely. The 741 A440 link came out of military research in the 1930s to induce psychosocial stress and dis-ease to the max. It was selected that A440 would be the standard tuning for the Western world. In fact, quote, mass hysteria, end quote, could be induced by instituting that frequency.
Scientific, laboratory research showing the reality of ESP phenomena. And
laboratory research?
Laboratory research. And especially precognition.
Where was it published in a journal or something?
Yeah, the Journal of I'm forgetting the name of the journal. It's like one of the top ranked journals.
Really?
In psychology. Just type in Feeling the Future.
Feeling the Future.
Yeah, Daryl Bem, B-E-M is his last name. Feeling the Future. It's very famous now.
Okay.
And of course there's like 1 million people trying to debunk it.
Feeling the Future. Experimental evidence for anomalous retroactive influences on cognition and affect. Wow.
Then he subsequently, with some colleagues, published a kind of meta-analysis of a bunch of other laboratories that then who had mostly replicated his findings. So like something like 80 or 90 separate replications. If you start reading about precognition at all, you realize that most people experience this in dreams. A lot of interesting things have been written over the last century about precognitive dreams. And the first was an aviation engineer in the very early years of flight in England. It was a guy named J.W. Dunn, John William Dunn. And he had precognitive dreams since childhood. And he was fascinated by this topic. And he sort of brought his kind of engineer's mind to thinking about how it worked. And he early on figured out that if he was going to study this, he had to be diligent about recording his dreams and then really trying to figure out what was going on with these dreams where, he would have a dream like one night and then 2 days later, the thing he dreamed would in some way come true.
Mm-hmm. So what is this protocol?
This protocol boils down to 2 steps. And that is record your dreams, record all of them in a dated journal in detail. His second step, write your dreams down in the morning and then set them aside. Then at the end of every day, go back and look at your dreams from that morning and the previous couple of mornings. And just reflect on like any similarities that you notice between the events that intervened, over the course of the few days during waking life and what you recorded in your dreams.
I personally think that that's absolutely true. I not only think you can see a glimpse of the future, but you're able to see other people's past. Don't ask me how I know, but I know for a fact that that's a fact.
This is proof that symbolism runs deep with these celebrities. Next to John Legend, you have this woman doing this hand signaling with her fingers, and when she realizes what she has just done, she looks at John Legend like, oh crap, what the heck did I just do? And if you don't know what this means, this is the same hand gesture that Baphomet does.
All I'm saying is that there's no other way to explain it. That symbolism is exactly what we saw that it was.
How common is it to get parasites from your pets?
Very common. It's probably the #1 way to get them.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy, actually.
Well,
people kiss their dogs on the lips.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. We had dogs, and we didn't know we should be cleansing, and our dogs had worms. I never really thought about when our dogs had worms that I could be also getting them microscopically and then ingesting them. I always washed my hands. I was always very careful on what I did. But that doesn't mean that, something doesn't slip and it just happens.
Dang. I got to give up those cheek kisses from my...
And I know for a fact it's going to be a lot of people looking at that clip acting like it couldn't be them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So could you quickly explain for people that don't know that do yoga why they shouldn't and what it is?
Yeah, yoga is kind of a meditation. You sit in a certain posture to invite certain spirit realm. You think you are just exercising your body, but it's actually the tantra to go with it. Certain hand gestures mean certain goddess like fire god or water god or whatever god they are inviting in. Many yoga classes, they ask you to make certain faces. Those faces really represent those goddesses. You are really entertaining the Hindu goddesses. Another thing, the word meditation I mentioned, yoga teaches you to meditate and empty yourself, less empty yourself, less empty yourself. The whole idea of empty yourself is because the Hindu worshippers, they don't understand what demonic realm is. They are still in the darkness. You leave it empty for the demonic realm to walk into your life, and you don't even notice, and you end up getting sucked into so many different things. But meditation in Christ-like life, if you would like to invite Jesus in your heart, then you meditate on his word. That means that you empty yourself, but you don't leave it empty. You straight away ask the Holy Spirit to move in your realm and recite the Bible verse you have thought about. For example, simple. Even if you say, Jesus, I trust in you, in a time like that, he moves in and doesn't leave you empty. And that is the true meditation.
There was no internet, so people had to say it to my face. There were very few people I had to clap back at because life was simpler then. Michael is gone. Tupac is gone. Prince is gone. Whitney is gone. Amy Winehouse is gone. David Bowie is gone. But I'm still standing.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy, but I get what she was trying to say. Life was a lot different before social media.
Are demons based on your zodiac sign. These demons, they ain't forging. You can't f with them. For Scorpio, we have the demon Asmodeus. They both were vengeful and manipulative, and they both try to be sexy. For Aries, we had the demon Belial. They both look alike, and they both like to control shit and run the show. They walk in like the boss, and you gonna have to face them as the final boss. Capricorn, we had the demon Baphomet. Of course, the obvious, they both got goat heads. They both love to compete and see theyself win. You, bro, you stay out their way. For Pisces, we have the demon Astaroth. Now, they both could be as wise as an old man, but what we really need to point out is they get confused sometimes, boy, that they think they in charge. Ain't that some shit? For Libra, we have the demon Lucifer. And not because both of their names start with an L. It is because of their beauty, charm, intelligence, deceptiveness, and balance.
Does the firmament touch the earth?
From Wikipedia.org. The firmament is said to be made of solid ice occupying the space between the earth and the first heaven.
Alexa, can anyone get through the firmament?
From Substack.com. NASA used high-altitude explosives to try and penetrate the firmament, and what they filmed of the operation was the result of their explosives creating massive watery wave propagation above them as they hit the quasi-vitreous dome above the Earth known as the firmament.
Alexa, is anyone able to get to space from going through the firmament?
No one is able to reach space by going through the firmament. The firmament is considered to be a barrier that has never been penetrated by humans, not even in science fiction or NASA's outer space movies.
Thank you.
Now that's crazy. Is that really Alexa speaking on the firmament?
Visible suit has been developed. Guys, look at this. Technology is evolving, and it's incredible. This is a suit jacket that is completely invisible. Like the invisibility cloak in Harry Potter. It's the same thing as that invisibility cloak. The guy puts on a cloak, and there's a bottom part that goes with it. You might think it would be super expensive, but no, it's only $500 for a suit, which isn't that expensive. This is a brand new textile technology. It's the first time we've seen this, and it has suddenly become widely available. So if you want an invisible suit, you can buy one. There are websites selling them. It's really amazing. You could say you weren't at work, but actually, you were there wearing your invisible suit. This could get out of hand. The effect is almost perfect. You can still see the outlines and some effects of light, but it's clearly something incredible. Tell me in the comments what you think, guys, but this is a revolution. Thank you.
I'm thinking it's cap. I don't know. Let me know what you think.
All right, it's time to go south. Let's go.
Junk fast foods that have no actual food in them. We buy gallons of poisonous household cleaners when one degradable soft soap will do. We are poisoning our homes and wasting our hard-earned money for no good reason. Why? Because the advertising industry tells us to. They just want you to buy stuff. For example, if a company pollutes the environment or uses bad business practices, if you don't buy their stuff, they will change. If you don't want food with chemicals or GMOs in it, don't buy it. The minute we start taking responsibility and spending our money wisely, every politician, every corporation, and leader around the world is going to know that we have woken up. And that is the most important point in this film.
And Mr. Beast, we are like a legion. We are one. We are many.
But did you see Mr. Beast, the guy Chris, transitioning? That's super viral right now. I have a theory. My theory is that like someone had to do it. Whether it's Beast, Chandler, or Chris, somebody had to do it. For what purpose? What do you mean? Beast is like the biggest YouTuber ever with a young audience. So you're saying it was like to protect the channel? Protect the channel, just level up in life, just secure his everything. Like, hey, Beast, you want to become a woman? Or like someone on your team has to become a woman? I'll just make Vince do it. Or I'd make you do it.
And now there goes a new conspiracy theory that just unlocked.
Operates in secrecy, and most people think that what happens in Hollywood, it's just, that's Hollywood, it's over there, but it goes out to the world. You know, it's the messaging system for our minds. It's the mirror we're given to look into from such an early age. And it's a really narrow group of people making these films. And so it's a mirror that's really, it's like a messed up mirror. Here's what you are as a man, here's what you are as a girl, here's what you are as a woman, here's what you are as a boy. And it twists your head, and you have to be really, really careful when you're there. And I think people need to be careful even when they're casually watching movies or TV. Start looking at the information they're giving you, not just in the lines.
I got struck by lightning or something during that Tickets album. Something happened to me. I haven't been the same since. I've realized something about myself, that it's dangerous.
Dangerous how?
To you, because I'm not scared anymore. There's nothing holding me back from being my true self. And my true self can't be silenced, can't be restrained. It's force. It's like a hurricane. You can't stop that.
I was giving a friend of mine a ride home one night, and we were going 80 miles an hour in an SUV in the fast lane. She said something to me, and I looked at her, answered her, and when I looked back, all the cars in front of us had come to a stop. I shouted at her, "We're gonna hit." I hit my foot on the brakes, the tires locked up, and the last thing I did was crank the steering wheel to the side and ducked. And there was a flash of light. And the next thing we know, we're sitting upright, driving 80 miles an hour still, now in the carpool lane with all those cars behind us. It was impossible. It was something I couldn't understand. It wasn't weird enough to make me think, oh, it's aliens. Like, But the bizarre thing was that more things kept happening to me that I couldn't explain. And then there was this one night. I woke up in an extreme panic. And the sheet got pulled up over my head and back tight, so much so that it pulled my forehead back. My instant reaction was my hands reached up, grabbed it, and pulled it down. And when that happened, I froze. and I couldn't move any part of my body. Couldn't move my eyeballs, nothing.
There's got to be more to the story than that. I mean, I might have been God looking out. Who knows?
There has been a lot of speculation about Skrilla's religion given the sacrificial practices he has posted on Instagram. So up next, we are actually going to step inside his godfather's home and learn about the Yoruba-based religion called Santeria and some of the gods that they worship.
Hey, nice to meet you, brother. I would love to learn about, like, the religion and the background and everything.
Sure, not a problem. Follow me. This is Elegua, the path opener. This is the person who you come talk to when everything is going down and you feel like you're stuck between a room where there's no way out. You speak to Elegua, you do things with Elegua. That's a goon.
That right there's a goon.
The next one is Ochosi. He's the hunter of the religion. That one is Chango, the lord of thunder, lightning. This is Ochun, Odudua. This is an ancient religion. It comes from Africa. These are times of the slaves. They used to practice this religion. They wasn't allowed to, so they had to disguise it. They used to go in to church with the Catholics and pray to their gods, but in reality they were praying to the African gods.
This is actually true. The religion of Santeria was created in Cuba by the enslaved West Africans around the 19th century and was the slaves' way of preserving their native religious practices.
Just to further our understanding, how much does these figures mean to you guys?
Well, to me they mean the world. They mean everything to me. Because I can make anything possible with them. Without them, I can't make nothing happen.
Yeah, before I saw my deal, that's what I asked for. And we was sitting in here before I even did it, the day before I did it. 2 days before I did it, and then I made my decision, what I asked for, and then I got what I asked for.
This video is so weird. The guy filming and his friend said they saw a woman disappear behind this tree. He sends his friend over to check it out. The friend goes over there, sees nobody. But what happens next is so strange. Once the friend comes back to the other side of the sidewalk, a car passes by and something starts to manifest out of the shadows. A small shadow figure starts making its way across the sidewalk. The people videotaping are obviously freaking out, thinking that maybe this is the person they saw just disappear. The figure looks translucent as well, which is really weird. And when light shined on it, it just gets darker. Some people believe that this could be some sort of shadow person, while others think that it is a bruja. Whatever it is, it just manifests out of nothing. And it would be really hard to cut this video up because of this car right here. What do you guys think about this one?
Hey, there was something definitely lurking in the streets and it wasn't a human. Let me know what you think it was. Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books. I appreciate you guys for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button and join the iTrack fam, and I will definitely catch you on the very next one.